So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hyben.
Congratulations to Latitude Realty, our newest broker in the Rebus University's Preferred Partners Program. Brokers like Ameriteam Realty, Dunes Properties, Impact Real Estate, Long and Foster. Yes, Long and Foster with 11,000 agents in multiple states. Plumtree Realty, Real Estate Professionals, Realty Ohio, RE/MAX Advantage, RE/MAX Essential, Agent Strong. These brokers have taken it upon themselves to get their agents significant discounts on all of the 12 Rebus University courses. Their agents are learning from the best and producing like maniacs. If you're an agent at one of these companies, go to rebusuniversity.com right now and start learning today. If you want unpublished pricing for your agents, like these brokers have done, go to hybendigital.com/teams or simply call Catherine Brower at 843-749-9900. That's 843-749-9900. Your agents will be impressed.
And now, for the review of the day. Got one here for the ISA course we have now on rebusuniversity.com. Someone said, I really enjoyed this course and got some great information. Highly recommend if you will be building or managing an ISA department. Amelia Smith. Thank you, Amelia. Keep the comments coming, guys. I love them. And remember, I eat feedback for breakfast. So give me a 1-star review if you want, or a 5-star review if you want. I don't care. And the more reviews we get, the better guests we get. So please, subscribe first and then leave us a review or wherever you're listening. All right, Rockstar Nation, I got a great guest here from Agent Leads University. This dude is all about agents and leads, which at the end of the day, really, I talk to agents from all over the place, and I'm like, hey, do you care about, and it's sad to say, and it's not, I don't want to generalize, but somebody said, do you care about, life balance, and do you care about, other things that may be important to me? And the answers are no, Pat. Really, all we care about is leads. And that's kind of a consensus that I'm getting is, what agents really want is more leads. And of course, those leads to be quality leads, and those quality leads, obviously, to turn into settlements. So I am trying to focus more and more on that. And so I got Josh Rhodes to come on the show. And Josh has got a really good thing going, and we're going to talk deep down today about a couple of things, two main things in particular. Number one, videos, because videos are massive, and a lot of agents are doing videos wrong. And then we're going to talk about Facebook, because a lot of agents are doing Facebook wrong. So, and then both of these are going to lead to ways in which you guys could get more, quote unquote, leads. So without further ado, Josh from Birmingham, Alabama, welcome to Real Estate Rockstars.
Thanks, Pat. Awesome being here, man.
Hey, buddy, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself so they can get to know you?
Sure. Happily married here in the South of the United States. You can tell by my accent. I'm born and raised. Have beautiful family, 3 daughters, and just living the life, helping real estate agents and mortgage brokers all over the country increase their income and their brand awareness and gravity using online marketing funnels.
That's great, and we're going to talk more about that. All right, so let's first of all, I want you to explain a little bit. You talk a little bit about this castle and the moat concept. and how it relates to leads, which will then, relate us to this conversation on videos and Facebook. But tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be really concise, but just some people think in word pictures like I do, and they don't often stop long enough to work on their business. They're always running, and working in their business. If you take a step back and you just think of your business, your livelihood, your family, your community, your goals, your dreams, that's really your castle. That's the center of your kingdom, right? But
yeah.
every good kingdom, every good castle has to have a moat that protects it, a moat that preserves it, a moat that emits authority and its significance. And that's where a lot of agents and brokers fail, simply because the industry really didn't equip them to build a content marketing moat around their castle. And they're not using that 80-20 principle correctly. And a lot of their activity is doing things that aren't revenue producing or high payoff activities. And so that moat is so important, and it makes life easier once you dig it and fill it full of good content. So that's kind of just a big picture to think of your business if you're listening to this as a real estate agent or an originator.
Love it. I love it. Okay. So the other day I was listening to a podcast, and the guy was on there talking about video, and he goes, if you're a real estate agent, you need to be live, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, let's say, one of the two. You need to be live 4 to 10 times. Now, he was exaggerating probably to stretch agents' minds, because agents are out there probably like, I'm scared to go once a day. He was saying minimum 4 times a day. What do you think about this?
I see where he's coming from as well. I mean, at the end of the day, he is technically correct, but not technically necessary, if that makes sense. Like, for example,
go ahead.
I mean, the Facebook organic algorithm really likes it. They really love that. And that live video is going to show up more often. What he's probably really leaning on is the fact that live videos do not have a long shelf life on Facebook. Now, ever since February 12th, 2018, when Zuckerberg makes some changes, your personal profile now is as powerful as it's been in a long time. Your business page profile is actually less powerful. So going live often allows you to have that extended shelf life, as opposed to YouTube. You upload it on YouTube, and if you've got the right SEO juice and you've got the right stuff going on, that YouTube video is going to be pretty static. It's not going to lose ground. I would say, to counter that, or maybe a more sober approach to what he was saying, is 3 to 5 times a week, but really more than anything, frequency and not frequency, but consistency. Kind of like your podcast, like there's certain times it drops and certain times people look out for it. That's a big part of the deal there, in creating content that people look forward to. It's all about making those live videos about the viewer, not about you. So that's a big deal. But I don't think you got to go live 4 times, 3 to 5 times a week. That's really good. And the reason why people don't normally go live is really because they don't know what to say, or they think that no one cares.
Right. Here's the thing. You hit the nail on the head. They think that, because that resonates with me. Like I'm trying to go live for Rebus University and to promote this podcast, and I'm like, nobody's going to care that I'm sitting on my swing here, drinking iced tea. I mean, so what do I do about that? Well, I'm a real estate agent. Help me with that.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, number one, you got to build that moat. And I would say Facebook Live is a version of content marketing that you can fill that moat with, along with Instagram Live, along with static images, along with YouTube, along with other social media platforms. But when it comes to no one caring, it's not true. There are some that care. I would reframe it and just say, you're correct. Everyone doesn't care. Everyone in your Facebook sphere of influence, they don't all 100% care about what you're saying right now. But the ROI on doing a 3 to 5 minute video that someone might share or someone will see that have a second or third degree relationship with someone who's looking to list their home or looking to buy a home, it's there. And it's really just more of a courage thing and an organizational thing. The thing that I like to help our customers with is providing like a content marketing calendar. So for example, this week we're gonna do 3 to 5 videos, and every time I go live, I'm talking about the importance of the importance of having a unbelievable mortgage broker partner. If I'm a real estate agent and I want to educate my SOI on Facebook Lives, I'm going to spend 3 to 5 days this week drilling down on how important it is to get pre-qualified, how important it is to match yourself with a great mortgage broker, mortgage company, and just use that as my content foxhole and hide there for 3 to 5 days. That way, I'm not always having to like, man, what do I talk about now? What do I talk about now? You can spend a whole week on one topic. And the great thing about that is, number one, if people do watch it more than once, that's fantastic marketing. Redundancy in marketing is not a bad thing. And number two, if people do only catch it one time, and with the shelf life of a Facebook or an Instagram Live being so 24 hours-ish, that 3 to 5 frequency allows you to talk about that and give people more class time with you.
So what else can I talk about, right? Like that's one day or 1 week. So give me like 5 more.
Sure. Gosh, I've got a whole list here. I'll go down.
10 more then.
Yeah. So there are 3 basically doctrines to marketing. And that is 3 stories. Number one, people need to hear your origin story. People need to know
what? Your origin?
Yeah, your origin story, or why I love doing real estate, for example. Like,
okay.
People need to hear that story. You could do that 3 or 4 times, different ways, different settings. Sometimes my coach has told me that, Josh, sometimes you just need to keep your deliverable, keep your fulfillment, keep your content the same, and change the experience. So today I'm going to tell my origin story from a beautiful historic bridge in my city. Tomorrow I'm going to go to a awesome park and tell my origin story, or do it in 2 or 3 parts. So origin story is huge. Settings are huge.
By the way, a cliche origin story for real estate agents, which pretty much anybody can adopt, is my wife and I, or my husband and I, bought a house, and the real estate agent was so bad. And we got so screwed that I got my license, and I was determined to, to change,
to fix the system. Yes.
If you don't have an origin story, use that one.
1000%. And there's a lot of commonalities there, but here's the great thing. Although there's a ton of agents who have that origin story, there's only a few telling it. So again, the name of the game is to have attention.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now.
So origin story. The second story is the customer story. Okay, well, What if I got permission from 3 to 5 of my past clients and I did a Facebook Live with them from their front porch, from their mailbox, whatever. And we just talked with them and interviewed them and let them be the content producer.
Yeah. So this is good stuff. So you guys should be writing this down. So origin story is a no-brainer. I've got one myself here with Rebus University and Real Estate Rockstars. As I was, I had many mentors. Then I had a friend of mine die who was a high school football coach, and he had about 10 eulogies at his funeral, all from mentees, all from younger guys he mentored because he was a football coach. And at that day, I decided to be a mentor rather than a mentee, and that's when I wrote my book, and that's when I started interviewing other agents on Real Estate Rockstars and became a mentor versus a mentee.
Totally.
And so that would be, my origin story. I love this, and I don't tell that story enough. And then the second is the customer story, which is easy. I'm good friends with Matty A, who has a flipping company, and he's constantly going in like a reality TV show and filming these flips and showing these people he's buying flips from, going to settlement, showing the buyers the second time, the real estate agent who's listing them, things like that. And that would be a customer story. It would be a home inspection. It would be a settlement. It would be any and all meetings would be a customer story live, even if it's only 4 or 5 minutes, right?
100%. It doesn't have to be long. Matter of fact, the sweet spot is that 4 to 5, 6 to 8 minutes, obviously because people's attention span. So that's a big deal. And the third kind of story is on a generic level, it's categorically a product story. But obviously as agents, as brokers, that's your product is your service, and the deliverable is how you really actually accelerated or optimize someone's ability to have the American dream. So that can be things like, well, put it this way, the origin story and the customer story, they actually have limitations, right? Like customer story is limited by how many clients you have.
Right. Yeah. You got to meet somebody, right? If you don't got any appointments, right, you got no customer story.
Exactly. So if you don't have any clients yet, you're listening to this and you don't have clients yet, maybe you just got your license, you're brand new, and you've got to take on the world mentality. Take a side step and use product stories first. Product stories are about the service, and that's where you can actually scale your content.
Okay, so here I'm stuck here. So I don't understand what a product story is.
Yeah, this is where you can really dig deep and actually create a treasure box full of video assets that you can use over and over again. Because the customer and the origin story, you can only tell your origin story so many times in so many settings, right, or different angles. But the service or the product story are things like, here's a video on why your home didn't sell. Here's the reason why you need to stop Zillowing at night and call me instead. How much house can you afford? 7 things home buyers must know about purchase agreements. 4 reasons you should not do FSBO, for sale by owner. And the list goes on. What's a contingency? What's pre-approval? I mean, I have young team members, for example, on my staff right now, and they're going through for the first time the home buying process. Well, if someone Googles homes for sale in Baltimore, Maryland, or Charleston, South Carolina, or Birmingham, Alabama, and they find my video, I need to be saying something about homes for sale in my area. And so the discoverability and the search intent and the utility of the product or the service story. And again, you're a self-promoter and you're an educator when you become an agent, when you get that license, and helping your folks, helping your prospects be on the up and up and not confused about the process is a big deal. And again, that moat around your castle emits authority. Well, what does content marketing do? Well, the product story helps me establish trustworthiness in my market. It makes me look like an authority. And here's the funny thing. There's zero magic about this. These are the same messages that any of your competitors could be giving. The difference is that you're giving it and you're getting the attention and they're not. And that's marketing 101.
That's awesome. I like the product. Okay, so like your product story could be basically you could just set out with a goal to learn, right, something about real estate every day, whether it be, read a paragraph in a contract that you never read that says the seller's always responsible for up to 2% of all termite repairs. And you could read some paragraph randomly at that. Totally. And you could be like, a lot of sellers don't know this. They're responsible for 2% of all termite repairs, which if your house is $500,000, that's 10 grand. And you can keep going. And then the next day you can say, okay, what can I learn about real estate? You can listen to one of these podcasts, or you could go on YouTube or whatever, and you could learn something, and then you could repeat it. And boom, you got a product story every day. Every day. You repurposing other bits of content that you find in the media sphere is so that's why the product story is super scalable, because you can keep on and then salt and pepper it with you could subscribe to Inman News or the Real Daily or any of these, say, real estate company or real estate related blogs. Sure. And just read the headlines and the first paragraph, and that could be your product story. Oh yeah, in the real estate market, home sales are up 0.03%. Yeah, 1,000%. Start a show. If you're motivated enough every morning, drinking your coffee, reading the news, go live and read a headline and go, hey, here's my reaction to this headline I just read about the national home sale averages, whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, what do you say to the agents, and there's a lot of them, that say, Josh, man, it's just not me, man. It's just not me. I don't like, I don't like taking selfies all day, right? It's one thing if someone takes a picture of me standing 4 feet away. Yeah. But when I take a picture of myself 2 feet away, I feel like it's vain. Yeah. So what advice do you give to agents to overcome that? Because at the end of the day, this is something you need to do, guys. This is, Josh is an expert, right? You're either going to be in or out with this. And if you're out, you're going to be missing out on sales, because somebody else is going to be on their feed watching their Instagram live or watching their, Instagram story or their Facebook. And they're going to be like, oh, Charlotte's a realtor. Matter of fact, we're looking at a house. Let's just ask her, and they're going to forget all about you. Yeah. So give us some advice that's going to have some impact for the people that think that it's egotistical and vain to do live stories. Well, it is, Facebook Live and Instagram Live are mediums, whether we like it or not, and you said it before I could say it, there's a class of agents that are going to simply drift off the edge of the earth when it comes to the industry movements and the tectonic shifts of the industry. Video and social media is here, and if you just think about this intellectually, people are individualism's on the rise. People don't think as generations anymore. They think as selfish individuals. They consume data the same way. And so a lot of times the generations who are struggling with that self-promotion aspect are the ones who are struggling to get attention any longer, or they just aren't able to get it at all. And so there's a little bit of tough love in my voice, and some people don't have self-esteem to do it either on the converse, the other side of the coin. And I would just say to anyone who doesn't like to go live, for example, that
if you don't want to go live, and if your personality just restrains you too much, at least go create 15 to 20 videos that you record in some kind of controlled setting. You can find a studio if you want to, do it in your office, get some good sunlight. Don't do it with fluorescent bulbs or something, but do a controlled video session and binge out 15, 20 videos that you can at least use as your foundational library or moat that is your content that you can use at your pleasure on your social media, in your email marketing, on your YouTube channel, at your convenience. When you have a buyer asking you questions and you are on the run, zip them the video that you did, 5 months ago from a studio or from your living room with good sunlight. And it's not about live, it's about being there.
All right, guys. Here at Real Estate Rockstars Podcast and Rebus University, we have been working on a top secret, incredible program for all real estate agents in the world. And I am so excited about this. This is going to be the best thing we have released yet. Now, we're not opening the doors here for this project until July 9th, but I wanted the Rockstar Nation to get instant access, right? I wanted to make sure that they were guaranteed one of the first 200 spots. We only have 200 spots in the beginning here, and I wanted to give that to the Rockstar Nation. So if you would like an early bird VIP to this new project that we're doing, I can guarantee you first notice to get a spot on July 9th. Just go to futureofrealestatetraining.com/earlybird or text the word early to 444-999. First 200 people only. I'm so excited about this, and I'll guarantee you special VIP treatment and early access by jumping on the list for this project. Hope to see you on there.
The other side of the coin is you can do video view campaigns with Facebook ads, or have a YouTube video that ranks for a keyword that's got 20, maybe there's only 30 people searching in a month, but if they find you and 3% of those 30, close, that's fantastic income. So yeah, you got to kind of get over it and do some video.
Yeah, I mean, you are given the impression that you are like you say, you're there, right? You've showed up for work. If you're dressed up and you're at your office or somewhere near your office, or let's just say at your office, and you're going live every day, you could do that for 20 minutes and then go home and sleep the rest of the day. And people are going to be like, man, Josh works all the time.
Yeah. Omnipresence.
He's a hard worker. He's serious about his profession.
Yeah. And I would also encourage people, some things that stymie people from progress, not only do they think people don't care, which is not true, not only do they not know what to talk about, which is easily remedied, but they also think that they have to use every social media platform ever created. And I've got a really good friend who has a great saying: dominate, don't dabble. Dominate,
don't dabble.
Dominate, don't dabble. So pick a platform and own it. Find the platform where your audience. What
do you think's best for real estate agents?
I think it's Facebook and Instagram, without a doubt. When it comes to disruptive behavior, like what you were talking about, just like showing up and you want people to know you're there. The disruption brand and just kind of hollowing out your share of the marketplace. Disrupt with Instagram and Facebook. They're the lighter fluid to start the fire. The log on the fire for the long burn that's going to heat the house for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Content marketing mode, and I really love YouTube for that.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's a really good mix. But you don't have to do 1,000 YouTube videos. If you have one YouTube video that people find consistently,
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like throwing it up against the wall. I mean, you look at like Grant Cardone, Russell Brunson, you know, Ty Lopez, some of these guys, right? They're like, they're basically throwing up, you know, 3 or 4 a day, and then who knows what sticks, and then suddenly one will stick, right? And it's kind of like Craigslist in that, you know, if you do a video on YouTube, it's going to fall to the bottom of the list like a Craigslist ad, unless people like it and watch it, and then it's going to pop up in the most watched, right? So
Absolutely.
so then it stays at the top. But it's almost, you have to have that attitude. I think people have these manic notions that every video they're going to do is going to be this viral sensation.
Yeah.
And I think the guys that are real successful at it have no idea which ones are going to go good or not. And they're just they're just throwing it. And all of a sudden, people, for whatever reason, people are like, hey, that's a pretty good one. Let me share it.
Yeah. You know, I love working with real estate agents. I love working with LOs. Unfortunately, a lot of times, like I said, the industry doesn't prepare its players with the proper mindset or expectation. So a lot of gumball machine mentalities come out onto the field.
Wait,
and we think,
what's that mean?
So we you put a quarter in, I take an action, you know, I'm expecting a gumball.
Oh, right. The little little plastic balls that you open up and you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, or a candy. You know, I want immediate, you know, immediate ROI, immediate fruit. But really, and the irony is that, you know, agents all over the country are helping to broker assets. They're brokering equity that people have built up over time, and there's a lot of that business ownership mindset that needs to be injected into the industry. And doing video marketing gives you the perseverance, but also it's Pareto's principle, right? It's 80-20. Like in my city and in your city, 80% of the traffic flows on 20% of the roadways. 80% of the rainfall goes through 20% of the cracks and crevices in the sidewalks.
Yes.
And
80% of your clothes get wore 20%. 20% of your clothes get wore 80% of the time.
Yeah,
right?
so 20% of your videos are going to create 80% of your brand awareness, or 80% of your lead.
Yes.
And Facebook advertising, for example, if you launch 10 ad sets in a campaign, 2 of them are going to be the winner. 2 or 3 of them are going to be winners, right? And then
man.
7 of them you're going to have to kill.
People don't get that. It's excruciating too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done it for my companies here, and it's quite humbling how patient you got to be with social media. I mean, you can get a like and you can get a follower, but that ain't making you no money.
Sure. Absolutely. It's
so
a number.
What do you like on Instagram? Do you like live feed? Do you like my story, or do you like the still picture? What's the most bang for the buck?
When you're talking about Instagram ads?
Yeah, no, just Instagram. I know you know with the ads, right? You need to have 10,000 followers, or they don't do you any good. So for the most of the real estate agents listening, they don't have 10,000 followers yet. So what would you recommend they do?
Yeah, man, Instagram. It needs to just be simple. Curbside appeal, photos, things that, because think about it, like your customer only cares about themselves in reality. They don't care about what brokerage you're with. They don't care what what suit you're wearing today. They don't care about your lifestyle. They care about how you're going to help them accelerate their dreams. And so you need to be putting out there. I like the news feed. I like the Instagram feed just with it was birthed and still perpetuates the fact that it's about photos. It's about photography. It's about good images and using their filters and using their various tools there and just taking pictures that people care about and making sure it's helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome, dude. So what would you say the one thing right now with advertising Facebook that's working, you know, in the Pareto principle, that's working 80% of the time? Like what's a guarantee? Let's say I only have a certain amount of money I want to spend. What am I going to spend it on Facebook? That is pretty much going to get me a deal.
Yeah. With Facebook, First of all, I would go back to mindset and expectations. It's a disruptive platform. So a Facebook ad is like the dog that runs out in the middle of the street. You know, I was driving down the street. You're either going to hit it, swerve around it, or stop and let it get in with you. And
you're going to hit it, swerve around it, or stop and let it get in with you. Okay, keep going.
So it's disruptive. You didn't go driving so that you can come across the
right.
Right?
It interrupted your pattern. Yeah.
Yeah. So it disrupts you. So when you go on Facebook, you got to realize that you've got to play the numbers game. You're going into a volume situation. The perfect approach, if executed correctly on Facebook, is a two-layer approach. Number one, Facebook has different objectives, right? They have different campaign objectives based on the machine brain of Facebook, the algorithm, being able to find people who behave psychologically and demographically a certain way. So the video view campaign is a massive opportunity that agents and LOs are leaving on the table, which is basically Facebook's answer to YouTube and Facebook's answer to the traditional television commercial. Video views allow you to get a ton of visibility. Now, it's not all about visibility, right? But here's the kicker. Let's just say you have $300 a month in your ad budget. I would go out and spend in the first month or two 70% of that ad budget on video view campaigns. While I'm working my referral network, while I'm doing the SOI thing, I'm trying to scale up my social media lead generation. I would go spend 70% on video view. The video view campaigns are, gosh, just about anything that has something to do with fantastic curbside appeal. Maybe it's you showing a home, a listing. Maybe it's you educating. Again, the ad creative is something to be tested. Regardless, you need people watching that, and you can get penny to 2 penny views on these. So it's super. You can get a lot of reach. The cost per impression just is so much less expensive on this objective. Now here's I'm getting to something. Facebook is tracking all these viewers and the percentage of the views.
Okay.
So I know that Pat watched my video, or 1,000 Pats watched my video 50%, 70%,
right.
95%. What I'm going to do now is the layer 2. So video view campaigns, it's like a carpet bomb. It's a blanket over my farm.
So you're only going back to the people that watched it the first time.
Exactly.
And then you're only going back again to the people that watched it the second time.
And the second layer.
That way you're building fans, or you're building people that
viewers.
Know, like, and trust you.
If they spent their time and watched 95% of my video, they need to hear from me again. And this next time I'm going to retarget them. That's a custom audience. It's easy. You go to audiences, click on create audience, hit view video. You can create custom audiences of people who watch certain amounts of your video. And then you come back and target that custom audience with a lead generation campaign. Here's for example, one of our campaigns in Agent Lead University is we have a 6 seller tips campaign to get listing leads or get seller leads. So I'm going to launch that campaign at everyone who watched that video. And I'm going to have my audience message and my follow-up process in place, because the people who watch that much of my video are hand raisers. They're qualified to get my ad spend for my lead generation. And then after you build a big enough audience, you can start ramping up and changing that percentage. So you got a higher percentage towards lead generation, and you start kind of harvesting the fields.
Absolutely. And guys, that in my opinion, you should be taking 100% of your money and doing what Josh says on the seller leads, right? On the seller leads, right? Like, a million agents are out there trying to buyer leads. No. Just go seller leads and just go. I mean, as you know, buyers are a byproduct of listings. Said it a million times, but yeah, this has been awesome, Josh. I mean, there's a ton of meat and potatoes here, lots of insights. As you know, Josh, everybody that comes on the show brings a free gift. We do a couple things with this free gift. The first thing I'm going to do is put it up on Josh's website. I mean, Josh's show notes. And it's going to be real easy, guys. It's going to be hibandigital.com/Josh Rhodes, right? Rhodes.
You got it, like Rhodes College. Yep.
Rhodes College. Okay, so hibandigital.com/Josh Rhodes is going to be all his contact information. His website's going to be there. You know, everything he talks about. You can certainly reach out to him. He's got some incredible programs for real estate agents on getting more seller leads and, of course, buyer leads. And in addition, I'm gonna put his free gift there. But in addition to that, I'm also gonna put his free gift in the Agent Success Toolbox. And you could go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. And not only do you get Josh's free gift, but you get all the gifts from all of the guests that have come on this show and brought gifts. So there's a ton of meat and potatoes and downloadable content that you can get instantly and for free. So what you got, brother? What'd you bring?
Yeah, it's one of my manifestos. It's kind of a cornerstone work. It's a PDF book on how real estate agents can get more closings using Facebook ads. It's kind of has our proprietary formula. We call it AMP, Audience Message Process, and we walk you through that whole thing. So excited to give it to you guys and honored to have participated today.
That's great, man. Well, listen, best of luck to you in Birmingham, Alabama. And if I'm ever out that way, we will definitely get together and break some bread, my friend.
Yeah, man, we'll do it.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Real Estate Rockstars. If this free content is giving you a ton of value, I want to ask a small favor in return. I need you to pull out your pointing finger and hit the subscribe button. Yes, hit subscribe, please. The more subscribers that we get on Real Estate Rockstars, the better guests are attracted to the shows. We'll get more guests from the top companies, from the top teams, and even more celebrity guests like Robert Kiyosaki and Barbara Corcoran. Also, if you're not a member of our free Facebook group, go to Real Estate Rockstars Radio right on Facebook and join the conversation. I'm on there myself on FaceTime Lives, and we have a lot of communications and questions about the show, and I'd love to see you there. And it's free. People ask me all the time, where am I on social media? I'm real easy to find. Just type in my name. My IG is I am Pat Hyben. It is blowing up on Instagram, adding tons of subscribers, and I'm on there probably twice a day. So definitely follow me on Instagram, as well as everywhere else. Thanks again for listening, and keep rocking.